motherfuckers.
Well, I went for Total Dbags because it was meant to be a play on Total Divas. It was meant to be the...
Oh, since I'm the only black one, does that mean I'm Jacqueline? Oh.
Yes, you're the only black one in everything. Right? You're also the entire nation of domination.
She has a horse face.
You're Teddy Long. If ever we do GX.
Well, feel bad, Coughlin. I mean, don't feel bad, Caitlin. It's like Coughlin and Liam, since they're both British, they're gonna have to fight over who's William Regal.
Yeah, who's William Regal? Who's Wade Barrett?
Yeah. Who's William Regal?
You know what? I'm gonna side with Coughlin and say that Liam gets to be Wade Barrett. There you go.
Yeah, he's got the deeper voice.
Exactly, that's his designation.
And I'm more sort of like I'm not like gonna be massive, but I'm more respected amongst my peers.
Liam's like this much for Liam though.
Liam's just a load of potential wasted, repackaged over and over again.
It's like we keep trying to put him in all of these stables.
One thing we have to do when we're doing this is try and remember we're sort of going to appeal to a different audience, so we have to try and keep the in jokes. So try not to mention things like Lundy.
Or if we do, we try to do it in a way that's easy for the fucking people to get on board.
Okay, wait. Here's one of the reasons why I wanted to add Lundy. It's because he's a Cena fan, and he would make for a great conflict. It's sort of would make for good conflict because
I tell you what,
Cena fan.
Let's stop fucking around and let's just hit the funky button.
Okay, alright, so it's recording now, but as I was saying though, he's a Cena fan, he thinks Benoit is average, he has so many contradictory viewpoints, and he loves to talk to you that he would be perfect for himself.
Okay, let's start with this. Welcome to, YouTube is Coughlin, yeah, and, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, morning, afternoon. Welcome to the first and tortured episode of Total Dbags, which is just going to be an introductory sort of video to the three main components of the Total Dbags. In the same way that nitrogen, oxygen, and carbon dioxide are the three main components of air. I'll let you decide which one. Napalm is carbon dioxide, though. So, and I'm nitrogen. So we'll start with that. My name is Richard the Dick Coughlin. Total years as a wrestling fan. I think I started watching in 1992. I think Royal Rumble 92 was the first one I ever saw. I've been to more Alive events than anyone else in this fucking thing combined, and I'm still going to this day, and I've even got an old foam finger from 1992 SummerSlam, which I vomited on.
That's sad.
I bought this foam finger in 1992 SummerSlam. Big green finger. If you watch the 92 SummerSlam, you can see that everyone's got one in the crowd. But I had a dodgy hot dog before the actual event, and I basically just did a natural reaction. You know when you go to puke, and you put your hand over your mouth. Well, I put my hand over my mouth, but I had a big green foam finger on my hand at the time, so I've just gone. Like vomit's gone everywhere. I wore it for the entire rest of the event. I'm waving my hand, puke's going everywhere. Everyone in my section was covered in puke, and that was my inaugural. So I think I went to several events before that though, but that's sort of my favourite. And my dad loves telling that story to everyone, particularly girlfriends. So he loves telling that story. But so I'm kind of I came up with an idea to do a wrestling podcast or a wrestling show on YouTube of some description back in August, and this gives you an idea to the organisational skills that we have here. It's taken us until the second week of December to finally get around to recording it. and I'm joined by here today by my other two D-bags. They would be Kalence and Edible Napalm, and I would now leave you in the hands of Edible Napalm. Would you like to go first? Mainly due to the fact that Kalence is black.
Yes, and I have to go last at everything.
So I've been on and off wrestling. You know, I watched it a lot as a little kid when it was syndicated during the Rock and Wrestle era. And then I kind of stopped when it originally went over to USA. And then around 96, 97, I got back into it. It was right when Kane debuted, so... And not Kane as Dr. Yankum either. It was Kane.
Glory days.
Yeah, so... And then I got out of it again, probably around 2005, 2006-ish. When it was really, when it's like, hey, let's fucking give Great Khali the championship belt, because fuck it, we got nobody else.
The glory days.
In all fairness, he didn't have it long, and they were kind of fucked, weren't they? Because Kurt Angle had sort of left him in this shit. So who'd you give it to? I mean,
Kurt Angle wanted to pursue his career as a professional drunk driver,
as a professional alcoholic.
Exactly.
He traded in the 3 eyes for 6 DUIs, and he went to TNA.
Also, Coughlin, I might be able to top you. I haven't actually been to any proper WWE events, but I've been to plenty of a wrestling event at a church.
Wait, I'd just like to interject. Looking at a bunch of drunk homeless people roll around on the ground isn't...
Yeah, giving homeless... That's called bum wars.
That's my favorite. One of my favorite memories with my granddad is us going to this wrestling event at the Methodist church, and just one of the heels was like, I get my power from drugs and Satan!
That's what wrestling should be, though, isn't it?
It should be.
That's what wrestling was. It's like that Futurama sketch where he goes, I'm the smoker. I'm going to your favorite restaurant.
I think the most hated character in wrestling was the gender bender, and that was Bender dressed up as a woman. That was hilarious.
And then I'm trying to think of who, like, there's one big wrestler, but I can't remember who he was, and he was talking about, like, I've held, like, the NWA championship belt, but when I die, I'm going to get the greatest championship belt. I'm going to heaven. Amen.
That's not a championship belt, though.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, that's just being let in somewhere.
Do you get a belt? Maybe if they marketed that, you get a belt in heaven. You know, do you get a...
More people want to be Christians.
More people would do it, yeah. More people would go for it. Okay, so Napalm, that's Napalm. And now on to douchebag number 3, or the third douchebag here, I would say, would be a better way to put it, would be Kalence. Please give them your background.
Peace, my brothers. No. I started watching, actually wrestling is kind of like a little mini tradition in my family. Like my mother was into it, surprisingly enough, my older cousin.
You know what, I think that's one thing we have in common, Kalence, is both of our moms really find Shawn Michaels sexy. And not Shawn Michaels in his heyday, I mean fucking wonky eye Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, like, okay, so that's interesting. So my mom thinks Shawn Michaels is sexy. She thinks Randy Orton is sexy and constantly, like, talks about his body. And I think she thinks John Cena is sexy, but he annoys her. Like, anyway, so I got into it around, I'm pretty late. I got into it around 1995, or early 94-ish. And I came in from the on the WCW brand, which is proud.
Oh, you poor fucker.
I know, right? Like, see, I miss the corporation. I miss the corporate champion, The Rock.
Remember, Kalence, when you asked me, it's like, does nobody really care about Dustin Rhodes when he went to WCW? No! People cared less about him in WCW.
Dustin Rhodes doesn't care about Dustin. When Dustin Rhodes went to WCW, his first promo was like, Goldust sucks. And now look at him now.
Yeah. I remember that promo. It literally consisted of him just bitching about how much he hated Goldust.
And if he didn't have him, now he's as Goldust and was like, ooh, Goldust. He's like, God damn it.
what's funny about Dustin Rhodes is that no one knows who the fuck he is outside of Goldust.
It's like Eric Clapton and Cream coming out saying, "We fucking hate Layla. We fucking hate that song, but we have to play it every goddamn time we have to do a concert." You know,
people will know who we are because that's the only thing people like about.
Anyway, let Caleb's finish, Napalm. This will happen frequently. Napalm will interrupt, and so will I, and Caleb's will fuck it. So we'll sit there like he'll be our Virgil, and you may speak.
He's like a member of the Nation of Islam. He's just sitting there all polite in his bow tie and shit, just being like, you know what, you white people, when the fucking bloodshed comes, you're gonna be the first to die.
There's nothing scarier about a black man in a bow tie, is there? Is there something terrifying about them?
They should really.
Anyway, shut up, Napalm. Let's shut up.
Alright, so anyway, I got in late. I watched, and let me see, I think I got out of WCW around 97, so I only watched it for like 2 years because I accidentally saw Raw, and I was like, why am I watching WCW when I could be watching this? Like, I randomly saw Raw by accident. I was like, this actually looks interesting.
Mm.
And then I started watching Raw, and that's just how I kind of got into it.
Have you been to any events?
I've
before?
been to. Okay, so my mom has like, she has like connections with like different concerts and stadiums and shit. So when I wanted tickets, I could go watch Raw. A lot of the times, I would mostly watch things like Raw, a live Raw show when they were down here, or like I've been to probably one event, but most of the time I've just been to things like like a showing.
Yeah.
TV show.
I think it's quite embarrassing. I think that me and Lee, one of the other douchebags Dbags who is not here. There will be other people brought in. Me and Liam combined, I think, have more knowledge and experience than that, and we're the two English guys. And the Americans
what were you
are really
be watching? Like Big Daddies versus Giant Haystacks, Coughlin?
Yeah. I think it'd be interesting to have have you and Kalance versus me and Liam in like a sort of general knowledge quiz at some point.
I still want to bring on Lundy because like he's everything that everyone in this room hates.
Lundy would be I'm all in favour of that. See, I'm all in favour of bringing Lundy on because, if for no other reason, it will annoy everyone else.
Exactly, like
he's constantly in and out of the Skype group. He's like the Sin Cara of Skype. We get him in. He says two things, and then he's kicked out again.
So
just like Sin Cara, he makes two moves, breaks his collarbone.
I have to fucking say this. He likes John Cena, current John Cena.
I don't hate John Cena. Okay, let's do another quick one. Okay, from the different eras we've watched wrestling, your favourites from that era. I'll go first. So my first favourite was Macho Man, because he was mental, and for no other reason than later on we found out he gave Triple H sloppy seconds on Stephanie. Yeah, and in the Attitude Era, my favourite was Mankind or Mick Foley or whatever, because he just looked, and it's not even because he was mental as well. He just looked cuddly. You wanted to give him a hug.
God damn it, Coughlin, you're picking all the ones I'm going to pick.
Okay, and my other one, my one favourite now. So I'd say it was Daniel Bryan probably now, but I quite like Bray Wyatt, mainly because I've got the outfit for Bray Wyatt now. I've now got a full Bray Wyatt costume that I'm going to be wearing to Raw in May, including the lantern. I've got the hat, the Hawaiian shirt, the white, and so those would be my sort of I mean, mental guys with beards. That seems to be more. If I was a gay, I'd be like a bear enthusiast.
You'd be like an otter.
Yeah,
you'd be like every gay guy who wants to bang Napalm because they're like all into bears, and that's what matters.
Bears. Daniel Bryan likes bears as well.
He does both ways. He likes to protect the environment, and he likes to fuck bears.
So Napalm, give us your era sort of favorite.
Savage would probably be one during the 80s, because if nothing else, that's like one of my most vivid early memories is Randy Savage being bit by that fucking cobra.
Oh, that was amazing.
I was just fucking in tears, because, that was when I thought wrestling was real. I was like, oh my god, Randy Savage is going to die.
I remember watching, my dad got a VHS video off of someone of SummerSlam 92, and they showed that in a clip of him biting it, and that was just, I don't know, the thing is that was back when it was still kind of, it was even more PG than it is now, and you just think they wouldn't do that. They probably wouldn't have even done it in the Attitude Era, because it looks so unpleasant.
Cobras are, like, this is kind of a tangent, but cobras are hands down the worst snake, because not only are they venomous, they also chew. They're not content with just injecting one dose of venom into you. They're like, I'm going to inject all the venom I have, and I'm going to rip your arm to shreds.
So your Attitude Era favorite would it be?
Mankind, definitely, because I remember being so in love. I sold to this day.
I think you just have Coughlin's fix.
I have I have and this is something I want to bring up. I have a great hardcore Holly story. I met him drunk at a fucking NASCAR event one time.
You were drunk or he was drunk?
He was drunk. I was still 13, so I couldn't drink. But yeah, I always liked hardcore Holly.
Can I just say this is interesting, because this will be the only time probably in the history of the recordings we do that you and I will agree on much.
I know.
If anyone, just as a forewarning, me and Napalm will argue a lot.
Yes, we will.
And Virgil here, will break them up.
But and Mankind. Because I remember, I asked for his book for Christmas, and I still have a lot of the posters of them.
Okay, and your current one?
I really like CM Punk. Just because, if anything, he's an idealized version of myself, where it's just I wish I was like him.
Yeah, whenever I think of you, Napalm, I think CM Punk. That's what
I think. CM Punk always looks like a drug addict.
Association. If someone did word association, holding up pictures, they held up CM Punk, I'd go Edible Napalm.
In Matt's defense, when I think of drug dealer, I do think of CM Punk, because that's what he looks like. So.
Which is weird, straight edge. But yeah, I see him because the whole pipe bomb shit, and him just being I don't fucking care what people think. I'm just gonna fucking say what I want.
Okay, cool. So, Caleb, what's your sort of era favorite?
This is probably
and you can say a WCW one if you want to. We won't hold it against you.
Actually, this is probably surprising, and I don't know if a lot of people will agree, but I liked Papa Shango. He was fucking
He ruined. I mean, this guy single-handedly ruined the WrestleMania 8 main event by coming out about 4 minutes too late at the end of the match. He was supposed to interrupt Hogan's leg drop after it. So Sid Justice kicks out of Hogan's leg drop at WrestleMania, but no one gives a shit because he wasn't meant to. Because Papa Shango was pissed out of his brains probably. He comes staggering out about 5 minutes after
he was probably backstage recreating Serpent and the Rainbow.
Yeah.
Just had some fucking weird yellow dust blood in his face.
You like Papa Shango, who went on to become Karma and The Godfather and... Yeah. Okay, next one.
And the reason why is mostly because he was just such a ridiculous and over-the-top character. Even more so than The Undertaker. He was just, when he gave a promo, it looked as if he was having a seizure whenever he would say his lies.
He always looked like he was on his cum face when he'd go,
the chicken bones at you.
Alright, and the second for the Attitude Era, I guess, is the corporate, is The Rock, the corporate champion, the corporate Rock. Because...
I agree, yeah. I think he's better when he's playing a prick.
Yeah. At that time, I had never really seen a lot of, black main villain types in wrestling. Usually they were more like Viscera, like the henchmen, and
or they were like gangsters.
Yeah, or like
New Jack.
Exactly, whereas The Rock wasn't like
Don't
that.
start on New Jack. We won't discuss New Jack yet. We'll
Right,
get on to New Jack at another time.
Whereas The Rock wasn't like that. The Rock was treated like any other heel villain, and I like that. And I like the way he was presented. Currently, again, I know how everyone here feels about him, but I like Randy Orton. I still do. I like Randy Orton. I know a lot of people don't. I like Randy Orton.
Oh, God. My mate Billy says a great one about Randy Orton. He says he's got 3 good moves, and 2 of them are when he puts his arms up at the start of the and does his pose. Right. Okay. So the idea of this show is we're basically going to we'll upload different videos where we talk about things like our favourite top 3s, our top 3 this, our top 5 that, and there's no real, we're not going to sit here and do reviews of like Raw week by week because, you don't need us to tell you that Raw was shit.
If something interesting happens, we might talk about it.
We need to review Heel Heat. And we need to show.
No, I don't think we should piss off too many people who are already doing podcasts.
Well, don't worry, these people are nobodies.
Okay, but that's basically it. So that's us for now, and we'll upload videos in as and when we can. Other than that, Dbags activate. I don't know. We need a catchphrase of some description.
We need Matt, play us out, bro.
Yeah, play us out, keyboard Matt. Play us out, keyboard Matt. Okay, end that one. Okay, try and get that down to 15 minutes.
If you want to, what, Matt?
What? I don't know. I was like, he was looking confident started.
Can we get